Hello people. Today we have this holster collection to share with you. This is the Bianchi model M66 military holster, or rather it was an experimental military holster. It was never adopted by the military, but they did do testing on it. So nearing the end of the Vietnam War, John Bianchi received a letter from a soldier requesting a new design, and this is what John Bianchi came up with. See there under the flap it reads Bianchi M66, patent number 3688953. So it was July 22nd of 1971 John Bianchi filed for a patent. And on the other side, it says the exact same thing. And September 5th of 1972, John Bianchi was awarded this patent. What was really special about this holster was not only that it was ambidextrous, it could fit on either side of your body, but the flap could be removed. You know, on the old model 1916, if you wanted the flap gone, you had to cut it away, and then once it was gone, you couldn't put it back on. So there we go. And of course, this one received the Class A treatment. This is just a leather paint that was applied to make it look more glossy, possibly for a parade or maybe just a police officer who really liked shiny leather. But he was obviously a right-handed shooter, because this side would have been on his right side of his body, and then this would have been exposed, of course. Now, if you look at... So all three of these holsters are virtually identical. There's really nothing different about the design of these holsters. There's just one thing. It's the snap, these brass snaps. This one says lift the spot. And what they're talking about, if you want to, undo the snap, you have to lift it from this little dot that they put on the brass snap. So this model is exactly the same thing. M66. The flap comes off. I mean, it's exactly the same holster. The only difference between this and the last one we just looked at is the snap. This one says pull the dot. So you've still got a little indentation on the snap, and they want you to pull on the dot, or the to get it open. It's a pretty mundane difference, but on this one, of course, it still says Bianchi M66 with a patent number, but the snaps don't say anything. They're clean. Now, I have to assume this was probably the earlier version, and then these were the later versions. I've seen one other holster that would fit into this collection that I don't have. It has no snap, has no wording on the snaps. The snaps look just like this. But when you open the flap, it says Bianchi M66 patent pending. So that's what makes me believe these snaps were before these snaps. Because if it said patent pending, then that's going to be the earliest version of this holster. Once they have the patent number, which came after September 5th, 1972, then they started applying it to the body of the holster. So it seems like these holsters are kind of rare, but they're really not. Here's a Bianchi catalog from 1991, and on page 56, We see at the bottom here they advertise the model M66 holster. So they sold this holster for a good 20 years before discontinuing it. Thanks for watching, people.